Grand evening, grand rising, grand day. Hello, I am your high priestess, Oya Ishel Shikmet Ajay. Welcome to the House of the Black Obsidian. I thank you so much for joining me this evening. It is January 9th, 2022, um, which this collective reading was kind of given to me earlier today. Kind of took some time to go within and take some notes here in my book. So I'm going to be reading from my book, but also showing you guys the tarot cards. So please excuse me if I kind of jumble around and all over the place. I'm going to go ahead and light some Palo Santo to go ahead and clear the energy. And like I said, thank you for tuning in. This is actually my first video, my first post. So if this resonates with you, like, share, subscribe. Please like, share, subscribe. All right. Thank you, angels, ancestors, creator, the most high, source, creator, creatress, for the messages that you shall rain down on me and that I am giving to the collective. So this is a collective reading. Um, take what resonates with you, what doesn't, send it back, and keep it pushing. Like I said, thank you for tuning into my channel. This is the House of the Black Obsidian. I am your High Priestess, Oya Ishel Shekmet Ajay. All right, so just going to give you kind of a little bit rundown about me, myself. I am born and raised in Denver, Colorado, 5280, the Mile High City. Um, I was not raised in the background of tarot reading. I was actually raised in the church. My great grandfather is a renowned bishop. May his soul rest in peace, Peter James Henderson, one of my ancestors. Um, I grew up in the church, so of course, tarot reading was told to me that it was black magic, it was bad, it was something that I wasn't supposed to resonate with. Same thing with astrology and reading my horoscopes. As I got older, I went on my own spiritual journey. I found tarot not even a year ago, about my first deck, almost, let's say 8 months ago. My first actual tarot reading for someone would have been July 3rd of 2021. And from that point on, I've just been kind of tapping in and going on my spiritual journey and using my tarot cards as a way to confirm the messages that source sent to me. So like I said, thank you for tuning in, like, share, and subscribe. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the reading. And just so you know, I do not own the rights to this meditation music that is playing in the background. All right, so I'm going to be, I pulled these cards, like I said earlier today, from this Urban Tarot. This was probably, I'm gonna say my fourth deck. It's really weird because I rarely pull from this deck. But you know, I let the spirit lead and go from there. So, all right. Okay, just bear with me here. Um, went ahead and cleansed the place. Thank you, Source Most High, for the messages that you rain down on me. Thank you, angels, ancestors, spirit guide, earth angels. Allow this information and the messages that I received to touch the hearts of the collective. Empower them forward in this time. Please let these messages resonate with the best of us and our higher selves. Like I said, take what resonates and take what don't. Thank you, Source. Ashe. I'm going to go ahead and ring my bell, get a little bit of Florida water in my body, and then we'll jump into the actual reading. So, what I like to do is I like to touch my crown, my throat. And right before this reading, I went ahead and just took a spiritual shower with some Epsom salt, sea salt scrub that I kind of created myself. Just to kind of cleanse myself, cleanse the energy, and reground myself. And like I said, I'm going to read from the notes that I collected earlier, but you know, sometimes the messages are going to come as well. Um, so I hope this resonates with you guys. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to start off with the date. Like I said, January 9th, 2022. All right. One is knowledge. Nine is born, rebirth. Two is wisdom. 1 plus 9 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7. What is 7? 7 is God. Remain in your God energy here in this 3D. Yes, it's very hard. Find balance though between the 3D and the 5D. Um, just speaking from experience, I've caught myself up in a whirlwind where I was just really tapped into the 5D. And Most High had to bring me back down to size in the 3D and show me, hey, you are still in the reality. You are still a part of this matrix. Um, but the first card that I picked, hope you guys can see that, was Fortitude, the number 9. Okay. 9 is reborn and rebirth. Fortitude. This is the Nine of Wands card. So if you can see the pillars there, there's 9 of them. Okay. Um, 9 pillars, but anyway. Um, so, Fortitude, 9 of Wands. Strength in adversity, determination, devotion to a duty or effort that is bigger than you. Only through connecting with your higher power or your higher self will you understand your power and know that you have the understanding to know that there is no choice. Choice is an illusion. The fire within you changes the outcome without any attachment to that outcome. I use the word fortitude and used destiny numbers and broke it down, and that equaled 46. Well, what is 46? 4 plus 6 equals 10. 1 is knowledge, 0 is the cipher. Okay? Use your knowledge as your fortitude. Have fortitude during all of the strife, which is interesting because strife is the next card. Um, yeah, there we go. All right, so 5. 5 of Wands. After the complacency and the balance and the duality of the 4 of Wands, um, you have to use that strife as a lesson to focus in on that. Use the negative aspects of the strife to focus in. There's a lesson in that negative strife. Learn the lesson to ascend to the next level, the power within you. You are a magical wand. You know, you are magic. You are powerful. Use the knowledge within the strife to grow and rebirth into the cipher of ascension. Use those lessons to keep going and keep ascending to the next level. That's the whole point in this lifetime, is to learn lessons that we failed to learn in our past lives. And stay open, stay humble. Excuse me. Um, and you have to complete each lesson in order to go to the next level. But you also have to be aware of that lesson. You have to be able to see that lesson. You have to be able to know and understand that lesson. Um, there's always going to be people places and things that may dislike you. Get used to it, um, and be you. Show up as you, authentically you. Vulnerability, flawless. Vulnerability is flawlessness. Um, Use your vulnerability as your strength to evolve to the next level, to evolve into the better you. If you do this, this will lead you to the ultimate wealth, 1 plus 0. You're completing the cycle. Spiritual wealth is material wealth. Um, this card typically just deals with wealth on the earth realm and the materialism aspect of it. But what is wealth without love, compassion, guidance, and idealism or creativity? Once what was once a dream or a vision is now a reality, an institution, empire, whatever you want to take it as. Use your wealth and the power to uplift the greater good of the collective, but yourself as well, as you put as part of the collective. You do matter. Um, the example I kind of like to use is I watched this show. I think it's called The End of Earth with Will Smith on like National Geographic. But there was these bees, and we all know that bees, have their own individual thing, but as a collective. In this particular um, presentation or part of the video, the bees were waving, so kind of doing the wave that you do when you're at like a baseball game or whatever. Individually, they were waving, okay? And it was a fluid motion. Although there's that one bee that's doing, each motion to make the full collective, as that collective, that was a way of them protecting their hive and defending off predators. So do what you do for the collective and take yourself out of it. Um, all right, that brings me to 10, the wealth card, the 10 rings. Um, for some reason, this resonates with me when it comes to the 10 rings, traveling multiple dimensions. I will probably, well, I'm not going to say probably, I would definitely have to do my own studying about that because it resonates with me. And also, it's interesting because I've been watching the new Marvel movie, Shang-Chi, and they talk about the 10 rings. His dad has the 10 rings, and I didn't get just, excuse me, didn't get a chance to fully watch all of the movie, but it's talking about traveling to another dimension with different creatures that are we deem as mythical, but they are real. We are not the only things, beings within this whole entire universe. Okay. The 10 rings, like I said, the portals, um, living in different dimensions, different lives, info, knowledge, wisdom, travels through space and time. And so can we. That's what we call astral projection. Some of us really aren't aware of the actual astral projection or outer body extensions. Some of us are. Um, but sometimes the things that we're going through on the astral plane is too hurtful, or the things that we see is too detrimental. So Source kind of blocks us from seeing those things until it's time when he feels that we are ready. Okay. Next card is going to be the Six of Cups, which is pleasure. What is number 6? Equality. It represents the water. Water is emotions. Water is the element of dreams, receptivity, emotions, and relationship. Okay. This seems more of a carnal pleasure card, but it's really not. You have to kind of think of it. Yes, it is that pleasure, it's that power, but it's so much more than that physical, that sexual energy. Okay. This connection is strong, intense, and pleasurable. It sends them on a high, okay? It's powerful. It doesn't have to just be sexual, like I just said, although the energy of the card is just such that kind of shows that, okay? Um, After all the upheaval and strife, only if you take heed to those tests and those past lessons, will you reap the reward of the wealth and the power that you are deserving? Okay, it's coming to you, but you gotta stay obedient. You gotta stay um, tapped in. You know, to that higher power, your higher self, to know what moves to make it, and be able to recognize and see those signs when they're coming to you. Okay. Five of Swords. Five of Swords is defeat, okay? But don't take that as in a bad thing, okay? Just know that what is given to you can be taken away if you don't uh, uh, stay open to the power of Source and the Most High and be obedient to the word. Although some things that Source may tell you to do may sound crazy, you may say, like, what? That just don't sound right. I'm not saying that. I'm not giving that message. Stay obedient no matter what. Okay. Um, the Five of Swords is power of the sword, power of the tongue, strife, power of success. Like I said, it can be overturned. This also resonates with the air element. Okay. Air's rationality in thought and language and science, intellect. The tongue can bring life or death, and so can the sword. Okay. Sometimes you have to use a sword or a knife to cut into the wound to be able to get the death out, to heal yourself, right? You know, that's what surgery is. You know, we go within, but also it can kill you if used in a malicious intent. It all depends on how you choose to use that sword. Just like the tongue, it all depends on how you choose to use it. It could be life or death. Everything that you say out of your mouth is either a curse or a blessing. You will constantly run into defeat if you exhaust your time and energy into getting people to understand the information and the messages from the Most High. Self sabotage, self defeat. Don't exhaust your gift on people who are not willing to accept what you are offering, and showing up and saying you are who you are. Um, Definitely don't manipulate the situation either, because that can backfire on you, or attempt to control the outcome, because the Most High knows what's best. Let go, surrender, let God. Otherwise, you cancel out yourself unbeknownst to you. Stop projecting your energy and your expectations on others. Like I said, be obedient to what the Most High tells you, no matter what and how crazy it seems or sounds. Um, Take a good deep look at yourself. Look in that mirror. Look within. What are your prejudices? What are your prejudgments of yourself and others? What are your shortcomings? And how can you overcome them so you don't cause that self defeat or self sabotage? Okay. The next card is the Hangman. Okay. It's the Infinity Arcana. Okay. Um, Sorry about that. It is actually seven. The number, no, eight. No, it's actually 12. Okay. Um, but what is eight? Eight is affinity, to build and destroy. One is knowledge, two is wisdom, one plus two is three. The understanding. Okay. The hangman, when I pulled the cards or when the cards flipped out, it was in reverse. So this is telling you to look at things from a different perspective, overstand, understand, and not just understand. Okay. Turn those ancient teachings into a new, um, to fit you, and the new paradigm, the new narrative, the the modernization. Um, Death of the ego to rebuild, a new mindset, education, spirituality, perspective. Let go of the worldly vices that fuel the ego and have faith that the Most High Source will provide all you need. As above is below. Release your hidden motives. The moon always means something hidden, okay? So release those hidden motives. When it comes to the material wealth, chosen ones, there is no shortcuts to this success, okay? Um, those shortcuts, they're not going to get you anywhere. They're just going to overturn everything you've worked so hard for. You can take those shortcuts if you want to, but Source said ultimately, you will hang yourself if your motive, if your motives are hidden, malicious, selfish, and from an egotistical standpoint. Okay, Ace of Swords. Okay, knowledge, power of um, the kingdom lies within you. Shock your crown chakra. Shocking your crown chakra will in turn shock the throat and the heart chakra. Okay. And what I get from that is you see the sword, it's stabbing the crown. Okay. Well, what's in under that? You have, and you can't really see the color, but this card is actually purple. And then there's a blue stone. Okay, well, that's the throat. Well, the crown is also green. Well, what resonates with green? That's the heart. Okay, so if you stab and shock your crown chakra, it will in turn shock your throat and your heart chakra and wake these up to speak and feel the truth the source is bestowing on you. But just know that all of that can be taken away as well. Stay obedient. Stay obedient. Okay. Um, this is also an element of air. Okay. Stay pure in thoughts, clean, clear, clarity from the divine. Air is not visible, it's not tangible, or in a sense measurable, but something you can see, feel, and hear. It's not measurable, it's not a measurable sense, but somehow man has turned the calculation of air or wind into something measurable and not sacred. Air and wind is the whispers of the ancients, the ancestors, and nature speaking to you. We have the power within us, especially us woman, to control the power of the winds. Revolutionize the information being given to you from the ancient ancestors, overturn it, learn it, and use it. The sword can represent peace, it can represent balance of truce or truth. The sword of enlightenment hits the sword piercing the crown. Balance between the fame and the velour and the justice and wisdom. The pursuit of truth and enlightenment will bring sorrow, pain, and ruin to some, but it all depends on your perspective and which way you operate. Okay, the next card that popped out was the Three of Swords. It was reversed. What is three? Three is understanding. And with that, I kind of add a little bit more. Three is understanding, overstanding, and understanding. This card, like I said, was reversed. Sorrow has no power here. Okay? Reverse that sorrow into joy. Take what needs to be used to fill your creativity and allow the rest of it to flow down the drain. Confusion and unanswered questions that only Source can answer. In times of pain and sorrow, take it to the Most High. There's only your side, their side, and the truth, okay? The three swords. There's black, white, and the gray areas. Know how to read in between those gray areas. Everything's not black and white. And some people say, yes, everything's black and white. No, it's not. Overstanding, understanding, and understanding. Overstanding meaning you have the concept and the connection with source that you can overstand things from a different perspective. Understanding is understanding yourself, your higher self, and going within and understanding, why do I feel this way? Why is my reaction this way? And then understand. You have to understand that person, but you don't always want to understand. We never ever throw those terms out. Overstand from a godly perspective or even understanding yourself. It's always understand, which is undermining yourself. Don't let sorrow within kill you. Take the lessons, learn from them, and rise up. Don't kill yourself with bitterness and self loathing. Use your sorrow and pain to have the strength and courage to move past the hurt in a healthy manner. Like I said, go within. Interesting. Next card is strength. Strength card. It's a major arcana. It was also in reverse. This is 11. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Knowledge and wisdom is your strength, so use it. Uplift and build and not destroy. Strength comes in many forms. The lion represents strength and courage. Lions are fierce and mighty, and so is the woman who tames that lion. I'm going to turn that back. Okay, she's taming that lion. It's a sculpture, but there is some sorrow and pain surrounding the relationship, but let me go back. Okay. The lion represents the Leo zodiac. So there's a feminine woman, um, Leo woman in your life that is your strength. There's some sorrow and pain surrounding that relationship, but build on that pain and that sorrow. Use that divine feminine's essence of that Leo woman to get through the times of the strife and everything that you've been going through. Okay. Use that divine feminine Leo that is in your life. Use her wherewithal to get through that. Use her knowledge. Stand firm in your works, your belief, your healing, your wisdom, and your knowledge. Um, the Leo woman was and or is the definition of knowledge and wisdom. Knowing when to let go of the situation, relinquishing the hold and the manipulation, stepping down is not weak. It takes a strong person to admit that someone knows more or is better than. That's courage, that's strength. Last card that I pulled from this deck is 1010, uh, which equals 20. 2 plus 0 equals 2, which is wisdom, eons. Okay. So the strength of that woman, that Leo, that feminine energy is going to live on for eons, and use that. Life is so much more bigger than you. Although, yes, you play a part, but the mission is bigger than you. It's about the collective. 1010 angel number is about reaching your potential, your life purpose, completion, spirituality, awakening, personal development, and enlightenment to a higher purpose of life. See yourself in the eye of the beholder, eyes of those before you and in the eyes of those after you. Okay? Know who you are, know what your mark on this world or this universe is. What is the legacy you want to leave in the eon of time? Time is an illusion. Live in the past, present, future all at once. Take up space. Hold it. Knowledge, love, wisdom travels through time and space. Tap into your higher self and expand across the eon of time, timeless. Okay. I wrote down some stones that you could work with. That just resonate with me for this time and for this reading. Okay, I'm going to say carnelian, which is this beautiful stone here. Okay. Uh, the next one is going to be a citrine. It's my citrine. We got a moonstone, divine femininity. And I will just say this. We are our duality personalities. Whether you're a male, masculine, or female, a she, thee, them, they, her, whatever. Okay. When we were in the womb, we were all one thing. Okay. Before those ovaries dropped into the testicles, we were all one thing. So it kind of irritates me when people nowadays, and I was one too where I didn't understand where people use the pronouns he, she, they, or, some of the people say that they don't feel like the male in their body, they feel like a female, and that's what they resonate with. You don't know what that person was in their past life. Maybe they were a female, and this new shell that they were projected into is awkward for them to maneuver in. So stop the prejudgments. I love my LGBTQ community. I understand. And I may get a lot of flack, a lot of people saying whatever. I really don't give a flying, excuse my language, fuck, okay? That's where you become open and rise above and stop your judgment. If you die today and your heart is placed on that scale, did you harm somebody? Did you judge that person? Did you judge yourself? Live every day like it's your last, like your heart is going to be weighed on that scale. Okay. Um, my next stone is going to be a Lapis Lucy. And then we got a Labradorite. Okay. I cannot find my Selenite. But yes, Selenite. Um, clear quartz. Your amethyst. Your amethyst. Um, your honey calcite. I'm not sure where my tiger's eye is. It's in here somewhere. Um, and we got a pyrite. Oh, here we go. Tiger's eye. We got a pyrite. I really have a bigger piece of pyrite back here, but I'm not gonna lift that up. It's pretty heavy. Um, turquoise. I'm not sure where that is, but I have an aquamarine. My Amazonite. Okay. This is my green aventurine connected to my rose quartz. That's in here as well, man. That's the next one, rose quartz. We got a rhodonite, which is also pink, like self-love. And then my prehnite. My prehnite is actually connected with the epidite and my black tourmaline, okay? But yes, use those stones to resonate with in this time. Um, that's pretty much all I got. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, and thank you for joining in. Um, I think I'm going to pull one of the ruins and see what that has to say for us. Give me 1 moment here. Usually it's really interesting. Usually they just pop out at me, but let's see what this one is. Give me one. Oh, Thoresis. Thorisas. Thorn, giant, reactive force, directed force of destruction and defense, conflict, catharsis, and purging. It's time to purge. Get rid of those things that no longer serve you and your higher being and your higher purpose. Uh, Sending an abundance of love and light to my chosen ones, my divine masculines, my divine feminines. Thank you, Source, Most High, Creator, Creatress, angel ancestors, spirit guides, star seeds, chosen ones for the messages that you bring down on me to give to the collective. Thank you so much. Like I said, for tuning in, like, share, and subscribe, and sending an abundance of love, light, energy to you guys all across the world through time, space, um, infinity, and beyond. I love you guys.